think that we have to be 100% perfect in everything. We think that in order to completely change our lives, we have to be 100%. In order to feel a sense of achievement, we have to be 100%. It's not true. It's actually only 40%. So it's not 80, it's not 60, it's not 50, it's 40%. 40%, that is it. How it works with neural connections in the brain is, say you start off with this. This is very basic, by the way, but you don't need to know how electricity works to turn the light switch on. The 4 stages of knowing, that's right. You don't need to know how electricity works to switch a light bulb on. You don't need to know the details. You don't need to know the ins and outs. So I'm going to give you a basic understanding now of neural connections work and pathways. You do something subconsciously, and it's something that you don't want to do. There's 2 things that you can do. First is never feed that, and that just completely collapses. The community collapses, everything collapses. That's part of that, that's being fed. You no longer feed it anymore. Or you can create a junction where you still need to do and respond to something, but you want to create a better outcome. So say, for example, with smoking. This is the smoking neural pathway. Whenever I'm stressed or I want to escape, I want to go out in a mental prison, I go outside and I have a cigarette. That's one neural connection. The other pathway could be I take deep breathing. Because really what I want out of smoking is to take breaths. My body is asking for deep levels of oxygen. It's why most people smoke. The body is craving deep breathing. People smoke and they breathe more deeply than they ever do at any other point of the day. So start to deep breathe. But I have to catch myself enough times to create that junction. So I go outside and I light a cigarette and I go, do you know all I needed to do was breathe? You fire and wiring that new pathway. Next time I go out, just about to light the cigarette. Fire and wiring, I don't light the cigarette, I do the deep breathing. This will start to become weaker, this will come stronger because you're firing and wiring and putting electricity through this circuit. This pathway. So this one will start to collapse. You only need to do it 40% of the time, and you're not going to suddenly, every time you go out for a cigarette, you're going to remember. You're sometimes going to smoke, but you don't judge yourself. When you're judging yourself, you fire and wire in this pathway more. Judgment is actually entrenching this pathway even more. So you don't judge the fact that you've smoked. You go, okay, I've smoked 7 times today and I didn't catch myself once. You're firing and wiring this one. Yes, you smoked and you fired and wired this one. You do this 40% of the time, this will become strong enough to then create a pattern interrupt, okay? This will become strong enough where subconsciously, the subconscious mind goes, oh, there's 2 options here and I don't know which one to take. Conscious mind, prefrontal cortex, wake up. We have a decision here. What are you going to do? Are you going to breathe or are you going to have a cigarette? Only takes 40% of the time to create that pattern interrupt. Then you will go, I'm going to breathe. And then eventually you will breathe more than you smoke and this will die and collapse. And this will be your new pathway. The junction will no longer exist and this will all collapse. Okay, so the 4 stages of knowing. So the 4 stages of knowing is that you don't know what you don't know. If you don't know it, but you hear it and you kind of know it. Does that make sense? So you go, trying to give you an example here. So someone says to you, oh, cigarettes, I'm going to just stay on the cigarette line, if that's okay. Cigarettes are bad for you. Yeah, I know. That's the first stage of knowing. Yeah, I know. Because you know they're bad for you. We all know they're bad for us, but yet people still smoke. That's the first stage of knowing. But if you don't deepen your level of knowing, you will always stay in ignorance. Okay? The second stage of knowing is going, yeah, I know it's bad for me. I should quit. Yeah, I should quit. yeah, I know it's bad for me and I should quit. And you have that contemplation of quitting, but you never take action on it. That's your second level of knowing. So someone says to you, you know that smoking's bad for you, you should quit. Yeah, I do. Because you do. But knowing information is not really knowing it. The third level is cigarettes are bad for you. I should quit. I'm quitting today. So you know they're bad for you. You've made the decision to quit. You're quitting today. You're taking action on it and you quit. You quit for 3 days, something happens, and you're back smoking again. You're in the cycle of beating yourself up. Can't believe I didn't quit for long. I only quit for 3 days. I'm pathetic. I'm stupid. I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm never going to be able to quit. Then one day the pain becomes too big again, and you go, you know what, I'm quitting. And you quit again. Most people stay in stage 3. They don't make it to stage 4. And stage 4 is what I shared with you previously, where I sat there and the pain of staying in my current situation was too much. And the brand new day of not doing that to myself anymore was a hell of a lot stronger. The power was gone from there and the power was there. I had gone into the 4th stage of knowing, where I was like, I know smoking is bad for me. I now know why I do it. I will quit because there's no power there behind me staying smoking. We kind of do it all wrong. We quit with no major driver to quitting. We think the bad health is not good for us is enough. It's not. You have to pull the power away why of you smoking. I could have quit several times and I would have failed because I didn't remove the emotional charge, the power, the energy source to the cigarette. But I did in that moment when I recognized that I'm in a really bad place right now and I've got a choice of feeding it or I've got a choice of going, whoa, recognizing it and sitting with it and seeing the severity of the situation that I was in and recognizing it and seeing that for what it was and seeing the pain of it. That snapped me out and that completely stopped me fueling the need for cigarettes. That's how you quit. We go about things in a bit of a backward way in life. But most people won't reach stage 4. Most people who work with me always reach stage 4 because I won't let them not. I'm relentless at it because I know that once you hit stage 4, it'll change your life. And you hit stage 4 enough times in your life with things, you are that tree that has exceptionally deep roots.